Final Fantasy XIV was my most played game on PS4. I invested over 300 hours into the development of my hero of light, Rhaegarys Targaryen, but over the years I've slowly fallen away, returning to Eorzea every so often for the odd bit of dungeon raiding or, my favourite pastime, fishing. But having now played a massive chunk of Dawntrail, the brand new expansion arriving on the 2nd of July, I'm convinced the time is right to jump back in, possibly for another 300 hours. Here then are 5 reasons Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail isn't like any Final Fantasy XIV expansion you've played before. Reason 1, the clue is in the name, but this really does feel like a new dawn for Final Fantasy XIV, with a fresh chunk of world to explore in the form of the continent of Tural. With the Zodiac Hydaelyn story finished, getting to run about in areas we've never seen before sort of makes Dawntrail feel like a brand new game, almost like a Final Fantasy XIV 2, which is thrilling in the obvious novelty sense, but specifically appealing to lapsed players like me, because this is new for everyone. You know, I don't feel late to the party anymore. We're all collectively at the start line of this big, beautiful, undiscovered thing. Adventure minus the FOMO. During my hands-on, I got to see the city of Tuliolal, the capital of the Federation Kingdom of the same name which governs Tural, a picturesque harbour settlement perfect for watching epic sunsets, before venturing into the surrounding landscape of Urkopacha, a mountainous settlement with distinctive architecture nestled in the shadow of a volcano, and then Kusama Uka, probably my favourite new area because of the beautifully inexplicable waterfalls draped over this incredible rocky plateau. This being an MMO with new areas comes a new dungeon, and I got to have a crack at Ihui Katumu, a swashbuckling romp through dense jungle featuring a boat chase and no less than 3 bosses that sent me packing to the starting area on multiple occasions. This raid felt like a step up from what I've previously experienced in Final Fantasy XIV in terms of scale, staging, and the amount of glowing orange area of effect attack indicators I had to desperately scramble away from. You have the option of teaming up with real people or AI companions, with the latter doing an admirable job of keeping me alive as I flitted about the place as a DPS doing their very best impression of a tank and taking enough damage to bring down a small moon. It was brilliant though, magic, blades and hit points flashing all over the place, excitement laced with the desperate vertigo that comes with always teetering on the edge of failure. Exactly as frantic and challenging as you'd hope from the type of content that, let's face it, is the crux of any MMO. Against these bosses, I tried out Dawntrail's 2 new jobs. First, the Viper, a close-range melee DPS type with twin blades, a delicious menu of interlinking combos, and a suite of abilities geared towards debuffing enemies while simultaneously buffing yourself. This is typically how I like to play Final Fantasy XIV, up close and stabby, slipping beyond the reach of enemy area of effect attacks and lining up the next hit in my combo. I was playing with a preset character with a new level cap of 100 by the way, which in itself is incredibly exciting, and the moveset felt spectacular. Ping off the required number of combos and you get to activate Reawaken, whereby your Viper emits a cold blue glow and starts kicking even more ass than before. If you couldn't tell, I love the Viper. What I wasn't expecting to love quite so much was the other new job, the Pictomancer. Ranged magical DPS isn't typically my thing, but the variety, power and visual splendour of their magical repertoire quickly won me over. The Pictomancer is all about daubing artistic motifs on imaginary canvases and then bringing them to life with dazzling effects. In simple terms, you've got access to a string of elemental magic in various colours, fire in red, water in blue, arrow in green, and with those you roast, drench or blow enemies into submission. Feel out the nuances of the Pictomancer's moveset and you'll soon be chaining together combos ending in the likes of Holy in White or Comet in Black, as well as the totally gorgeous and obscenely powerful Rainbow Drip, which fires a corridor of colour at enemies, so they'll be going "oh" at the same time as "ah." And if all that fails, you can paint a hammer and smack down a triple combo that combined does upwards of 100,000 damage. You know what, I think ranged DPS might be my thing after all. With a world this beautiful, you need an aerial mount to explore it, and I got to try out Arc, a bonus item that comes with the Dawntrail Collector's Edition. Fans of Final Fantasy IX will love taking control of the iconic summon, which transforms from dark magic mech into kick-ass airship with a simple press of triangle. I had about 6 hours with Dawntrail in total, and I spent at least one of those hours simply doing this, flying about, marvelling at the breadth and beauty of Tural. And finally, despite Final Fantasy XIV and subsequently Dawntrail boasting multiple hours of gameplay you can enjoy solo, ultimately an MMO lives or dies by how massive and multiplayer it is. Towards the end of my session, a group of us teamed up into a full party to take on Pictomancer, a level 100 flying monstrosity hiding in the depths of our playable area. No matter how many times you do this, the thrilling hum of anticipation as you all ready up never gets old. And so we fought it, at once the toughest challenge of our hands-on, eclipsing even the dungeon raid from before. I opted for the Viper, shuffling around the mark, flashing steel, stinging it with combos. Pictomancer had other ideas, namely a move that forces everyone hit by it to start dancing, leaving them open to a deadly attack that'll take you out instantly. He makes you dance, and then he makes you die. My eternal gratitude to whoever was playing healer. They must have rezzed me no less than 14 times during this fight. Eventually we prevailed, little thanks to me, and the cheer that filled the room was full of both joy at having taken down that level 100 avian terror, but also the giddy excitement at sharing in the first step on what is shaping up to be yet another unmissable Final Fantasy XIV expansion. Dawntrail then arrives on the 2nd of July. Let us know in the comments what role you're going to be playing as, tank, healer, DPS, and subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss out on anything from the world of PlayStation. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again soon.